we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
Join the Chickasaw and Kana Foundation for the 5th Annual Piamico Day Wreath Laying Ceremony at Fair Park in downtown Tupelo on October 13th. Starting at 10 a.m., enjoy demonstrations of Chickasaw history and culture, followed by the wreath laying ceremony at noon.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Is it on? There we go. Okay, sweet. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. Apologies for that. I was so distracted by that cold weather that's going to be entering into our forecast tomorrow morning. And I know that you're going to be distracted by it too, because it's jaw-dropping. We'll be talking about that. A big headline here in the Room to Room Weather Center will be those cooler starts starting for our Thursday morning, and those will continue into our weekend as well. Yes, I will say grab a layer. I know Matt's a little bit hesitant to say cool conditions in its entirety, but I think that we are opting on the side of, yes, you can have a sweatshirt for that morning commute for sure. And rain, it's a thing of the past. Not exactly going to be a concern as we enter the latter part of the week and into the weekend and really into next week as well. It's just a very dry pattern as we enter into the more of that fall-like season. So enjoying it for its perks, but also still need some rainfall. So it's just, you know, you have two different sides of the equation. Fantastic football forecast ahead as well. We'll be tracking the latest on those conditions here in the Room to Room Weather Center for Mississippi Live Weather at 10. So are you excited? Well, you should be, because this forecast is shaping up to be a spectacular one. The first 12, 65 degrees by 11 with partly cloudy conditions, but there's one thing I want you to pay attention to, and no, it's not that number at the bottom of your screen. It's actually the sky conditions. Look at how we're partly cloudy by 11. By 2 a.m., a lot of those clouds start to disperse and carry on towards the southern part of Mississippi, away from us here in North Mississippi. The key part of that forecast is as those clouds recede, then we start to enter those clear skies. We know when things are clear, it allows that heat to escape, and that's why we get some cooler conditions for our morning commute. So the more those clouds clear, the cooler those temperatures get, seeing 61 by 2 a.m., mid-50s towards that morning commute, and some areas could be even cooler than that, depending on how much those clouds clear. We'll look at that here in just a moment, but that's going to be a big driver in our forecast. Tupelo, seeing some of those, I will say, thin clouds up there in the sky, but dew points definitely on the downfall. 63 degrees right now. Still temperature 66, so it feels like 66. Just that drier air moving in. And even if you go outside right now, that breeze coming out of the north-northeast at about 8 miles an hour, that just makes that forecast even better. Takes it that next step. West Point, 71 degrees, so slightly warmer down there in Clay County, 66 dew points. Folks still out on the roads traveling, and I assure you some cars, and I was guilty of it here a couple of days ago, have the heat on. I was very slightly, but hey, even a few degrees matter. Definitely wasn't on pure AC as we got into those overnight hours. So wouldn't be surprised. Don't judge me if you are. I'm sorry, I get cold. 68 degrees in Batesville, 72 feels like values and dew point, 61 right now. Now you might notice a few breaks in the clouds, but still those partly cloudy conditions lingering in the forecast. But as we look in that extended outlook right there, over there in the horizon, clear conditions moving in place, and that's that cooler air that's going to be coming in as a result, or should I say that next level of cooler air. Still going to be a cool start nonetheless. Mississippi Live Weather Radar does have nothing on radar right now, as has been the case all day long. Here's a look over the last 12 hours. Bugs, birds, all those sorts of things, but no rainfall. And that's been the thing with our forecast and continues to be the case into our Wednesday evening. So dry conditions do remain. Radar currently in clear air mode, and clear air means no rain. And so that's what we can take from that forecast. Past 24 hours, we did have a few showers into those overnight hours, but even those about a half of an inch, not exactly anything too significant. I know folks weren't complaining in Natala County, but elsewhere, nothing. Dry as can be all day long, and as will be the case for tomorrow, for your Friday, for your weekend. Get the point? That's pretty much going to be our forecast. Let's keep expanding this out on our surface analysis here real quick, and that'll drive you through what is exactly the forecast. Here you see this cold front starting to clear off there towards the Atlantic coast, and what we're getting right now is that cloud cover has started to recede and more of that cooler air has moved in place as this northern wind starting to circulate into our area, which is bringing that drier air as well as that cooler air. So that's really what we're going to be getting here in North Mississippi, all of that from our neighbors up north. Thank you for sharing the love. We've been waiting on fall to enter the picture. grateful that it's finally here. And we'll see that right here on Futurecast as well. Still with those breezy conditions coming out of the north and keeping that forecast very, very comfortable, and just excited to get some long sleeves out. Man, it's been a while. So Thursday morning, you can see that those breezes still coming out of the north. You basically have this high pressure center right there into Missouri and Arkansas. So that's why it's kind of driving our forecast to more of that drier pattern. If we keep that forecast going into our Thursday morning in its entirety, you see where the cloud cover is. By 6 a.m., sunrise taking place. Cloud cover south of 82 by a wide margin, basically right along I-20. Here in North Mississippi, clear as can be. Now, how quickly those clouds recede will be the big driver in our forecast, like we talked about a moment ago. But for folks along the Tennessee state line, I'm not talking about 40s, but low 50s, a realistic possibility for you guys up there. So even cooler down south, probably about the low 60s. We'll look at that in more detail here in just a minute, but a little sneak peek of how good those temperatures will be. Thursday by 9 a.m., I mean, it's going to be a breezy forecast. So I said hair up day type thing yesterday, and trust me, I'll have my hair up tomorrow. I have my hair up every day. But for folks that need to have a decision of hair up, hair down, I know my wife being one of them, it's going to be a hair up day tomorrow, Mrs. Maynard, so make sure to prepare accordingly. So Thursday afternoon, staying with those breezy and dry conditions. So again, a good looking forecast for our Thursday in its entirety. 55 varying by a few degrees, whether that be a little bit higher, a little bit lower, will depend on that cloud cover. But that's 6 a.m., 61 already by 9 a.m., mid-70s in the forecast by noon, and 78 by 3 p.m. You do see those sunny skies lingering all day long, so it's shaping up to be a good forecast. And as we get out of school, even then, a good forecast too. So you're going to hear me say good, you're going to hear me say beautiful, you're going to hear me say dry, and you're going to hear me say cool. Quite a bit, if you haven't realized that already. But that's the forecast, and that's what we're going to continue to talk about here in more detail. And I think those 4 words not going to annoy anybody, because it's a forecast that we've long been awaiting on here in North Mississippi. So get your smiles out, get your long sleeves out, and get ready for the rest of our broadcast here in the Room to Room Weather Center. We'll talk more details about that forecast to wrap up your work week. 2 more days left, and then the weekend will be here, and even better conditions by then. I'm telling you too much. We can't break down the forecast just yet. Stay tuned here in the next minute, and we'll talk in more detail.
Harvey's Curbside to Go means you can experience quality anywhere. Call in and pick it up on your way home without leaving your car. No cooking, no cleaning, just dinner. Harvey's, a difference you can taste.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynard.
You know, I love looking back at that video as an introduction, because I remember it was midsummer and it was so hot and muggy. Not the case heading into the forecast tomorrow, a completely flip of the script, and we are not complaining about that whatsoever, especially being in a full suit. I want it to be cooler. Trust me on that. Diane in Pontotoc submitting this great picture of that sun setting before those cool temperatures enter the picture. A beautiful sunset there in Pontotoc. And if you have any pictures out there, whether it be of the sunset or of the harvest moon that continues to shine brightly in the sky, honestly, it looks pretty eerie with that Halloween type setting. If you have any pictures of that, submit them to Mississippi Live Weather. You can do so on the app. We love using those pictures and showcasing what you guys are seeing on the ground, our weather watchers out in the field, and you guys are as much a part of the team as we are. So we appreciate all that you guys do and just keeping us informed of what's happening on the ground, our boots in the field, should I say. 8 to 10, 70 degrees, feels like 61 right now, and a big driver in that forecast is that 11-mile-an-hour breeze coming out of the north, again circulating in that drier and cooler air. Told you I'm going to say it a lot, and I am a man of my words, so that's going to continue to happen. 8 to 10, not the only location. Greenwood already getting a little bit of clearing as we can see those stars in the sky. 73 degrees and dew point around 66. Of course, Dew points need to be low in order for those temperatures to fall. So that's one thing we're watching, is as that moisture recedes, how quickly do those dew points drop before our temperatures go with it. Mississippi Live Weather Radar, we can see right here that front carrying a lot of the moisture out east into the Atlantic right now, leaving us with that dry forecast, not just here in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, everywhere in the southeast, except for Georgia and the Carolinas, looking like a dry forecast. So if you went to the beach today, Wednesday, then you were even enjoying a great forecast there as well. Here's what's left of that cloud cover. And you can see that moving right along basically let's see. Oh my word. 45 and, why'd I forget the interstate? Oh my word. It's going to come to me in a second. And I'm going to look in chat and be very upset with myself. But yeah, basically along or north of Highway 6, should I say. So Tupelo going to be included within that. I-22. Oh my word. What a night. I-22, you can see right there from Memphis to Tupelo, that cloud cover lingering, that's starting to extend a little bit more south, and that's going to kind of trap that heat just a little bit longer. But the quicker these clouds get out of here, the cooler our temperatures are for our Thursday morning. Here we see dew points, and you can already see that those greens popping up. I know it doesn't have a number attached to it, but you can see that in Tippah, Benton, Marshall, even there towards Tate County, already in the 50s for those dew points, and not too far behind it, Memphis around 48, Jackson 49. 40 is a realistic possibility for our dew points heading into tomorrow morning, and if it doesn't reach it tomorrow morning, the extended forecast will for sure. Here in Tupelo, 62, but Starkville, 70. So you see the disparity right there from just a couple of counties. Of course, 60s starting to move down into the forecast along 82, and then 50s starting to creep closer to those areas as well. Are you smiling yet? Because I know I am looking at this forecast. 70 degrees Starkville, 67 Tupelo, and 68 in Memphis. Those temperatures drastically different from what we saw even 24 hours ago, but not dropping as much as those dew points are. So that's where we're getting more of that fall-like weather, is from the dew points just dropping back and making for a more dry forecast. Temperature-wise across the region, our lowest temperatures currently 64 in Corinth and 65 in Iuka. Warmest, 74 towards Belzoni is going to be the local high temperature. I see 73 behind me in Aliceville, trying to sneak out of the picture there. I caught you, don't worry. But as we look at those changes over the last 24 hours, you can see a lot of blue showing up, and this will continue to trend into that morning forecast. So make sure to tune in to meteorologist Maggie McCauley, because she will have a cool forecast, both literally and figuratively, as you get into your Thursdays. So again, an exciting forecast, and one that we have been waiting for quite a while here in North Mississippi. 64 around midnight, cooling off into the mid-50s overnight and into your Thursday morning. And there you see that cloud cover retreating almost and leaving us with mostly clear skies. That's allowing for the atmosphere to cool off just a bit, and we'll be setting the scene for a great start to the day. Although temperature is going to be a little bit on the cool side. Here you see a good visual on that cloud cover. 2 a.m. still encompassing a large part of Highway 6 and south. That, of course, moving south as the day goes on, or the night goes on, should I say. And by the time we get to 4, 5, even 6 o'clock, we're seeing clear conditions across North Mississippi. At this point, sunrise is happening, so for some areas, not cooling off nearly as much because that heat is trapped all the way up until sunrise. I think I said sunset a moment ago, meant sunrise. But for the rest of us, north of Highway 6, we're already seeing that cooling take place. So some areas, it's going to be cool. It's going to be a very cool forecast. That's going to be 54, 52 Holly Springs, 52 in Corinth, 52 there towards Senatobia as well. Further south we go, we can see more of those yellows showing up, and that's around that 60-degree mark. Still 57 Kosciuszko and Louisville, and 58 around Macon. So some areas not as good as others compared to what we'll see tomorrow morning, but hey, still cooler, don't complain. Drop off 54 degrees around our average, and then 70 for lunch. 77 towards that final bell, so a few degrees below that 30-year average. But again, no complaints. We've been waiting on this weather. Sunny skies all day long, so if you can handle a little bit of that cooler start, trust me, you'll be shaping up for a good forecast for any of those afternoon plans. As Futurecast heads into our Thursday, you can see drier conditions are in place, but watch out towards the east, and you'll see these winds starting to come out of the east just a bit. It's trying to move in some of that moisture associated with a bit of a disturbance there towards Alabama. Now here we see by noontime, cloud cover starting to pick up there towards Coleman, Warrior, Gardendale, and even for my folks over there in Birmingham. As we get into our Thursday afternoon, you can see that it does try to pop up a few of those showers, especially into the late afternoon hours right there towards the Birmingham and Tuscaloosa area right there. Just one of those pop-up showers. Now, Let's talk about why we don't believe this is going to happen. Look at where those winds are still originating out of. Out of the north, kind of driving that moisture away from the forecast. Where we could see a few of those showers pop up is out there towards Birmingham because those winds are more out of the east. We have a lot of moisture out in the east right now with some of the tropical development out there along the Atlantic coast. Definitely a possibility to at least have a few pop-up showers in Alabama. North Mississippi, it's going to be an uphill battle. Not exactly an Everest uphill battle, but definitely, I don't know, a little bit of an uphill battle. I was trying to think of another reference, but I'm not updated on my geography. I'll try and get that later on. But again, those northerly winds keeping our forecast dry and keeping it comfortable. High temperatures, not exactly going to be high, relatively speaking, but still reaching into the mid to upper 70s, 75 Holly Springs, 76 Oxford, 80 towards Grenada, 79 around Louisville, and 83 towards Columbus. So things are going to be warming up. We say dress for two forecast for your Thursday because the morning is cool, might need a sweatshirt. Towards the afternoon, you'll get away with the t-shirt. Don't worry about that. So Thursday evening keeps with those dry conditions. Again, trying to move that moisture in, but not exactly a believable forecast. Maybe towards northwest Alabama late into our Thursday and early hours of our Friday. But even that's just, again, an uphill battle. Not exactly expecting that to take place, especially not here in North Mississippi. We're not exactly verifying that so far as models go into the future a bit. And this is why you guys need to tune in tomorrow night. We could definitely see some changes in that forecast. As you can see right here, winds starting to push a little bit more out of the east. So might see a few pop-up showers possible for our Friday morning. And as of right now, not exactly believing it, but I could have my mind swayed heading into that extended forecast. This pattern, it's really a dominating pattern that keeps that dry air around. So that's why I'm not exactly a full believer just yet. 3 p.m. on your Friday, either way, dry conditions if it's coming out of the east or the north models projecting that drier forecast to persist. And as we get into our Friday evening, still with those dry conditions intact. So our football forecast, which we'll see here in just a moment, looking ideal as possible. 78 Tupelo for your Friday afternoon, 80 Water Valley and Grenada, 82 Greenville, and 83 around Greenwood. Let's go ahead and get into our high school game of the week forecast presented to you by Casey Lott. 74 pregame. That is going to be much cooler than what we had even last week. But when we talk about cooler than last week, that final snap, 62 degrees, yeah, had that jacket handy. You'll be glad you did as you enter into that final snap. I know I brought my jacket last week and was so glad I did. I mean, it was still a cool forecast, but I will definitely have that jacket on standby. Once again, might even have some pants this week instead of shorts because 62 is kind of menacing to me right now, staring at me saying, Gabe, do it. Do it. Wear the shorts. Not going to happen. Alabama versus Missouri, taking them on in Columbia, or shout out Matt, Misery. I'll do it. I need to for my Kansas folks. Again, my family's from Kansas, so I know a lot of them are happy with me saying that. 67 first play, 73 by halftime, and 75 by that final snap. Kickoff is at 11 a.m., so those temperatures will climb as the game goes on. But with that fall-like pattern in place, not exactly going to be a hot forecast there in Columbia. As we take a look here in the Magnolia State, Washington State coming into town to take on the Ole Miss Rebels. Kickoff is at 11:45 a.m. on your Saturday, so getting the day knocked out early. Still should be a good matchup there in Oxford, but Ole Miss, they're number 4 for a reason. Let's go ahead and show Washington State why we're number 4, right? So 75 first play, 81 by halftime, and 83 towards that final snap. Still should be a great game, and I'm hoping that the Rebels win, stay high, so that way whenever State comes to town, it looks even better. I know my wife is happy at home right now listening to me say that, and she cannot say a word back. I'm probably going to get a message here in a second. But either way, a good forecast this weekend for all of our football teams, so make sure to get out there and enjoy it. If you want to get out there and play football yourself, this is a forecast ideal for you as well. As those games wrap up, maybe head out to the Grove and do exactly that. 78 Friday, 80 by Saturday, and 82 there by Sunday. So temperatures gradually getting warmer, as you can see really in that extended forecast into the mid-80s. But look at lows. 54 Thursday morning, jumps up to 57 for Friday morning. I say jumps up, it's really a small jump compared to what we saw this week. 52 by Saturday and 53 by Sunday. Some areas, especially with these clear skies in place, could be in the upper 40s. That is something that we are watching here in that extended forecast. So you guys need to stay tuned because that temperature could definitely look a little different heading into tomorrow evening and Friday evening as we approach our weekend. But the real reason why I want you to pay attention to those low temperatures, we're really going to be in the mid to upper 50s for that entire track. And so although temperatures are warming up, that dry air is still in place. So even though we had 85 2 days ago, and it was pretty hot and sticky, it's not going to be the same 85 next week. That drier air going to make this 85 much more bearable and still feeling a little bit more like fall despite it being those above average conditions. So that's one of the things that we'll be excited about, even if things are warming up in that extended forecast. But hey, we haven't even entered the cool part of this forecast yet. That happens tomorrow morning. So make sure to enjoy what we have right now as we've been waiting on this forecast for quite a while. You can, of course, download our Mississippi Live Weather app to keep you guys informed on what to expect. Gives you those temperatures where you're at before you head out the door so you can know, hey, do I need a jacket today? Let me check my Mississippi Live Weather app. Do exactly that. You can also snap a picture. Hey, if you want to snap a picture of your temperature gauge and let us know how cool it is where you're at, we'd love to have that for pictures tomorrow morning. Our meteorologist Maggie McCauley will have the latest on that forecast, and she will love those pictures. But towards the afternoon, of course, temperatures warming up, and we'll be back here at 5, 6, and 10 live from the Room to Room Weather Center, giving you guys what you need to know for your forecast ahead. Again, football is right around the corner. We are excited for that, as well as the college football forecast for this weekend and the weekend in its entirety. We're excited about all of that. So we're going to walk through that in full detail coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 5, 6, and 10 on your Thursday. We hope you guys have a great night. Grab the long sleeves towards tomorrow morning. Don't say I didn't tell you, because I'm sending another reminder right now. And Maggie will have the very latest on what you can expect coming up tomorrow morning. Have a great night, and we'll see you then.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Banking.